Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're uncovering a botanical secret that literally bridges ancient history with modern clinical science to completely revolutionize our metabolic health. If you've been searching for a scientifically validated way to protect your heart, lower your blood pressure, and just totally hack your blood sugar, you are in exactly the right place. We're looking at a functional food that isn't just some modern fad. No, this is a sacred, time-tested staple that has literally survived for millennia.
We are starting with some massive modern problems. Right now, global populations are facing an unprecedented rise in hypertension, lipid-induced organ damage, and that incredibly stubborn insulin resistance. I mean, we try highly refined diets, we try endless synthetic interventions, but what if the absolute best solution to our modern metabolic crisis was actually buried 3,000 years ago in the hyper-arid deserts of the Nile Valley? I know, it sounds like the plot of an Indiana Jones movie, but as you'll see, the clinical data backing this up is incredibly real. It's absolutely wild how ancient Egyptian medicine perfectly predicted our modern understanding of cardioprotective health. There's a quote from the Ebers Papyrus, which is literally one of the oldest medical texts in existence, dating all the way back to 1550 BCE. The ancient Egyptians operated on this channel theory of medicine. They figured out that if your internal fluids, like your blood flow, were blocked or sluggish, systemic disease was practically guaranteed to follow. And to keep those channels clear, they relied heavily on a very specific sacred desert plant.
Section 1. The Ancient Superfood Secret. Treasures of King Tutankhamun.
Think about the majestic lineage of the Doum fruit. We start with those early medical prescriptions in 1550 BCE. But then, by 1323 BCE, this fruit was considered so sacred and so absolutely essential for vitality that it was actually placed in the tomb of the boy king, Pharaoh Tutankhamun, to sustain him in the afterlife. Fast forward to September 2007. An archaeological team led by Dr. Zahi Hawass made a totally stunning announcement. They discovered 8 woven baskets, each about 50 centimeters high, filled to the brim with Doum fruit inside King Tut's intact funerary chambers, perfectly preserved for over 3 millennia. Unbelievable, right?
So, the crucial takeaway here is that this isn't just your average plant. The Doum fruit, scientifically known as Hyphaene tobaica, is a biological marvel. Locals often call it the gingerbread palm because its fibrous, edible outer layer genuinely tastes a bit like sweet, tart gingerbread. But more importantly, this tree survives in the hyper-arid zones of the Sahara by sending its roots super deep into subterranean aquifers. That extreme environmental stress forces the plant to produce a massive payload of protective bioactive compounds and polyphenols. It's essentially powerful plant-based armor. And that sheer resilience is exactly what we are transferring to our own bodies.
Section 2. Modern Clinical Proof. Cardiovascular and Lipid Optimization.
The data from a recent 3-month double-blind clinical study is absolutely staggering. Researchers took patients suffering from obesity, hypertension, and hyperlipidemia, which simply put is dangerously high fats in the blood. The control group got standard blood pressure and cholesterol medications. The experimental group got that exact same standard therapy, but they supplemented it with just 25 milligrams per kilogram of raw Doum fruit pulp daily. The results? Systolic blood pressure plummeted from a dangerous 153 down to a perfectly healthy 128. Diastolic dropped from 94.7 to 79.7. And the LDL, the bad cholesterol, it crashed from 158 all the way down to 104. This really underscores how adding Doum mesocarp extract goes far beyond just basic standard care. You see, chronic high cholesterol doesn't just hurt your heart, it severely damages the filtration barriers of your kidneys through lipid-induced oxidative stress. Preclinical trials showed that high doses of Doum extract not only mitigated those cardiovascular risks, but actually restored kidney tissue. It drives what scientists call vasorelaxation. This means the heavy concentration of flavonoids in the fruit triggers your blood vessels to physically relax and open up. It is literally clearing your body's channels, exactly like the Ebers Papyrus described thousands of years ago.
Section 3. The Blood Sugar Breakthrough. Glycemic Index Regulation.
Now, if you love bread but hate the blood sugar spike, you really got to pay close attention to this. Highly refined wheat carbohydrates induce these rapid glycemic spikes, completely exhausting your pancreas. But clinical trials in healthy humans showed something pretty amazing. When researchers took everyday wheat flour and baked Doum fruit flour directly into the bread, the postprandial glycemic index, which is just the scientific term for the blood sugar spike you get after eating, absolutely plummeted. Pure wheat bread gave a glycemic index of roughly 65.7%.
But when they substituted 40% of that flour with Doum, the glycemic index crashed all the way down to 22.53%.
So the crucial point here is this staggering 65% relative reduction in the glycemic index. By simply fortifying the dough, you are safely dropping the bread into an ultra-low glycemic category. And why does this happen? Well, because of darium's high fiber and unique water-holding capacity, it slows down glucose absorption entirely. It regulates lipid metabolism and even promotes fat oxidation. You get all the amazing gingerbread-like flavor, the moisture, and the comforting texture of bread, but without the metabolic punishment. You effectively neutralize the insulin spike.
Section 4. Introducing Doum's Good, the premium ancient superfood.
This incredible science is exactly why the brand Doum Good was created. You see, you can't just grind this fruit up with standard industrial heat. The bioactive polyphenols and B vitamins are highly sensitive to thermal degradation. They just get destroyed. So the Doum Good manufacturing protocols ensure you get a standardized, premium concentration of these compounds by utilizing state-of-the-art cold milling technology. They source exclusively from certified sustainable organic estates right along the Nile River. It perfectly extracts trace minerals and crucial compounds like oleuropein, which is actually the same super antioxidant that makes olive oil so famous. And because it's highly water-soluble, it's super versatile. You can mix it into smoothies, teas, or simply bake it directly into your own ultra-low glycemic bread.
We started this explainer looking for a way to optimize our modern metabolisms, and we found the answer sitting perfectly preserved in the tombs of the pharaohs. From clearing your vascular channels and safely dropping your blood pressure to completely hacking the glycemic index of your absolute favorite foods, this is an uncompromised standard of systemic protection. When history, clinical efficacy, and exceptional flavor are united in a single daily ritual, the conclusion is just undeniable. It's Doum Good. So let me leave you with this. If your modern diet is failing your metabolism, isn't it time you tried a 3,000-year-old cure?